It's Madden NFL 23. And up next, we'll see Robert Woods. He had a standout game 1 week ago with 3 touchdown catches. It's the Texans and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the inline, so it'll come out to the 25. Time for our first look at the Denver offense, and of course the new face of the Broncos, 9-time Pro Bowler while in Seattle, Russell Wilson.
The Denver Broncos knew exactly what they wanted when they acquired Russell Wilson. They wanted to bring in a quarterback who was durable, consistent, and a proven winner to take a talented roster back to the postseason. And Russell Wilson, he was all of those things in Seattle. 1 losing record in 10 seasons, missed only 3 games in that time, and made 9 Pro Bowls.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for Williams a week ago, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Well, this defense for the Texans, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Back deep is Steven Sims. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
I think the hope was to let him sit and learn for a bit, but he was thrown right into the fire in week 1. Now we'll see what kind of lessons he's learned as he prepares for his 2nd start in the NFL.
Ready, set. Unlock line. Ready.
They run with a rookie from Florida, Dameon Pierce. The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week. 15 carries, 95 yards, and a score.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Hey, Charles, let's get a look at the draft class for this offense. Remember, no first-round picks this year. They traded it away. How much of a detriment is that?
Well, what they're hoping is the reason they traded away that first-round pick, that player won't be a detriment. He'll be an improvement for their team. And now as you get into the later rounds, in the middle rounds of this draft, that's when your scouting comes to the front. You have to hit on those selections.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Let's go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 37-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back. Drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's got his tight end. It's Chris Manhertz. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. We're scoreless after one. Texans football to start quarter 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready, break.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
So the illegal forward pass also cost him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Back to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Woods. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. This guy's getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Ready.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Woods. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Noah Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Texans post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Fielded right around the 8.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. This is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Noah Brown with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
From the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Week 2 underway around the NFL, and a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader, Tennessee and Buffalo, 7:15 Eastern, and then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later. From the 25 on second down, Wilson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Being chased out left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And this returnable for Sims. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
The Texans at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1. And they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here we go.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Ready. Shut up.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
Oh, and this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now here's a throw that's complete.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came to him.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Noah Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And it is now 21-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. But Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton, 52 yards.
And the Broncos are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown score or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Out route, and it's complete to Brown.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go, strike.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So they got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was the visiting Colts who were able to pick up the road victory. 31-28, the final score. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Ken Walker, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Taylor Heineke has thrown a touchdown pass. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first two quarters. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half. These two coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
And Sim says, let's bring it out to the 25.
So here are the Texans to take over.
Last week they got the victory against the Colts, so they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's go right here. Let's get some love. Get up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Let's go now.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
There's a nice move. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
19 strikes. 19 strikes. Buffalo 18.
He'll look to throw. to the goal line, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast Army.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Brevin Jordan.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 25-yard line.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Ready? Bronco switch, Bronco switch.
Pierce now up the middle. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
61 yards on the ground for him so far.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And they'll go right back to Pierce. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
Ready, go.
Give to Pierce.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run here with Pierce.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Come on.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Ready.
Here's Pierce.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
A couple extra tight ends are in. 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Pierce.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Bronco defense comes up big. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams.
And he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Let's go now, let's go. Let's go, baby.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down.
That's caught left side by Judy. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, it's Wilson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And this will be a Texans first down as he gets it up past the 35.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half.